All right.
Well,
So,
first things first, that Virat Kohli has made his return for the second ODI against England. He's free from injury now, from the knee swelling that he suffered ahead of the first ODI, and that led him to miss that match. He's back. Jaiswal is out. And the most
yes.
important update is that England have asked India to bowl first in Qatar.
Well, the discussion was on that, okay? Who was going to go out when Virat Kohli came back in, okay?
Yeah.
Shreyas Iyer, cricketing logic, you could not have dropped him after the first match. And because of the mountain of runs he had in the Vijay Hazare Trophy and in the Syed Mushtaq Ali. After this, how could you drop him? But you had already handed a debut to Yashasvi Jaiswal.
Yep.
And on top of that, what has happened is left, right, left, right, left, right, where the Indian team obsessing over that. In Cuttack, that has not happened. So that is why glad to report that Yashasvi Jaiswal has been left out. So you're going back to that World Cup combination that you had. Shubman Gill, Rohit Sharma, Shreyas Iyer, Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, and then Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja and all can slot themselves accordingly along with Hardik Pandya in that sense. So
Yeah.
big development, and you have to feel good for Shreyas Iyer because now I think that punishment has been done, everything else has been done. Indian cricket has operated on logic and on the simple axiom that yes, runs are vital, you will get a long run, and because of that now there was no need to make so many kerfuffles in the first ODI.
Yeah.
And that is why you have managed to ensure that yes, Yashasvi Jaiswal has been left out and Shubman Gill goes back into opening. Shreyas Iyer will be at number 3 and Virat Kohli will be at number 4.
No,
And you saw
it's going to be Virat Kohli at number 3 and Shreyas Iyer at number 4. That was the top 4 that India
Yeah.
had, ever since the 2023 year when they, played multiple series against New Zealand, West Indies, and obviously in the 2023 ODI World Cup also. Last year, in fact, India played just 3 ODIs, and it was the same combination, pretty much the same combination that India had in the ODI World Cup that took place in the same country. But then we talk about, the other change that India have had. Varun Chakaravarthy has been handed his debut in ODI cricket, and he replaces Kuldeep Yadav, who has been rested.
Yep.
So obviously,
so this
there
is the kind of the 11 that has come for us. I mean, the BCCI have given us the official team sheet. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, of course, so that'll be the thing. Virat Kohli at 3, although I don't think that's going to happen. It'll be Shreyas Iyer at 3, Virat Kohli at 4.
Why do you think so? Kohli has been your number 3 for a long time now.
But then you saw in the World Cup, isn't it, Gulati? I mean, see.
Which World Cup?
I mean, you look at 2023 also, when you look at it, Virat has been at 3, but then looking at it, see, I would assume that he could be your number 4 also, in many ways.
No,
if you want to stabilize your thing, you see, Iyer, what position did he bat in Nagpur?
Number 4.
Number 4, okay.
Yeah.
So, look,
I don't think, there is any, I would say, for that matter, any discussion on that thing, because Kohli has been your permanent number 3 in the ODI format. And we talk about Shreyas Iyer, he has been the most stable at number 4 that India have had, at this position in more than a decade or so. So there's definitely not any question mark. So there's not any discussion on the fact who's going to bat at number 3 or who's going to bat at number 4.
I am not agreeing with KL Rahul at 7.
Now, KL Rahul at number 7 is not really a good move.
Yeah.
I hope, it's just for the team sheet that the Team India has released for the Qatar ODI. But then, coming back to the point that we discussed for Kuldeep Yadav here, he has been rested and Varun Chakaravarthy makes his debut. Obviously, there are 2 ways to look at it. One, that Rohit Sharma has said that Kuldeep has been rested. And secondly, the thing here is that obviously India want to try out Varun Chakaravarthy because this is going to be their last chance to try out a new player, because in February 11th and 12th, they will have to finalize their 15-member squad. And Harshit has a point to say.
Yes, what explains resting a player who was anyway on the sidelines because of injury? How does it make sense to rest him after just 1 game and you've handed an ODI to a young Varun Chakaravarthy?
I think Varun Chakaravarthy, first of all, is not young. And secondly,
Young in the game.
Yeah, young
in
in
the game.
young in the game. And secondly, I think it puts extra pressure on Kuldeep Yadav because before the beginning of the series, we had discussed it in one of our dugouts that if there's anyone, who is under a lot of pressure after the inclusion of Varun Chakaravarthy in the ODI team, it is Akshar Patel. But now Akshar Patel's place is pretty much cemented for the Champions Trophy. He took a wicket in Nagpur, even scored a crucial 50 while batting at number 5.
See,
so
this
his place is
selection,
done.
this selection is, see, a Varun Chakravarthy has a great game in Cuttack. And he continues, if he's picked even for Ahmedabad, and he does well there. Kuldeep is not a starter. Kuldeep isn't a starter in the Champions Trophy.
Isn't he a starter?
That means you're making changes to your Champions Trophy squad.
Exactly.
What this also tells you is that there's room only for one specialist spinner. So Varun Chakravarthy is not fighting with an Akshar or a Jadeja. He's fighting with Kuldeep.
Exactly.
So
you have 2 more
You're
days.
saying Kuldeep goes out and Varun comes in.
Yes.
And I'm not.
There are only
I
2
have
days
my
left.
doubts about
Yeah,
it.
I have big doubts about it. Kuldeep was your match winner until 2024. He even played the Sri Lanka series too. Has been your number 1 spinner.
Although a lot of people did point out in the 2023 final and in the 2024 final, especially in knockout finals, Kuldeep has struggled. Let's make no mistake about it.
That's not only the case with Kuldeep. There have been multiple Indian
Multiple,
players
but
who have
In
struggled.
your 2024 final, all your spinners struggled against that onslaught of Rick Klassen.
But Akshar contributed with the bat. That's why he escaped. He was also tongued around. So that is why what I am saying at this point in time is if Varun, you will not ignore Varun Chakravarthy then. If he has 2 good games, unless it's the same rotation, okay, looking at the pitch and everything, Kuldeep comes back for Ahmedabad, all the doubts are rested then at this point.
True.
So, but you still have a time. You still have 2 more days to make changes to the provisional squad that is there.
Yeah.
But you are not taking Varun Chakravarthy, but if he has 2 good games, even if he has a great game here, can you ignore Varun Chakravarthy?
You have only, his audition is only 1 game now.
Yeah.
On basis of 1 game, you make the change. Because 12th is
12th
the
anyway,
next match.
it's
Your
anyway
deadline
beyond
is
the gap.
11th.
So that's
I
why.
would really hope, if there's anyone who is actually under pressure, after Varun's inclusion, I think it has to be Washington Sundar because India already have multiple all-rounders in their 15 and there's no reason to drop Kuldeep Yadav from the 15-member squad. He is returning from an injury, but so is probably going to be the case with a certain Jasprit Bumrah. Probably. We don't know, what's the update with him. So Kuldeep has been a match winner.
See,
and he would
Kuldeep
be
at this
needed.
point in time, Kuldeep, if you look at it in the first game, he bowled well. On his return, he bowled very well.
He bowled well.
But again, Varun Chakravarthy's performances, I know in a different format. Agreed that it is in a different format. T20Is is where he's been your gold standard in 2024. That too after June.
Yeah.
He's done well in South Africa. He did well in the England series also. Now if he does well in Cuttack, and Kuldeep, many people will say, okay, it is not surprising if Kuldeep gets dropped. Because remember, whenever he's done well, he's been left out. You see, 5 wickets he takes, he gets left out. He doesn't play a test match for years afterwards. So that is why Kuldeep's case is very curious. But I think logic dictates that you rest Kuldeep, you bring him back for the Ahmedabad ODI, and that is what you're going to play from 12th onwards until the warm-up games, and then you're going to play the first game on 20th.
No, but you're creating any doubts about it, na?
Another
Because,
question. Speaking of logic, doesn't it make sense that you seal the series, go with the guy who's been your proven guy across formats, then go with somebody new, and then bring that new guy in the 3rd match? That is what logic says. But here, obviously, you have the only thing this explains is that you have one eye on the Champions Trophy.
True.
And you're hoping that some magical performance from Chakravarthy comes in, and you can then have a new
Khichdi.
No. Good headache for yourself.
Sweet headache.
It's a khichdi. That's the thing I'm saying. So see, first ODI, Virat's injury threw everything haywire. Okay, Jaiswal got promoted to open. He got a debut. Bumrah's injury now has opened up the fact that Harshit Rana and Arshdeep Singh. See, even Arshdeep has not been picked.
But any which ways, he is going to be a starter in the
In place
India
of
11
Harshit
for
Rana.
Champions Trophy. Because the point here is that India are probably still not sure about Jasprit Bumrah's fitness. So in case if there is an occasion that arises that you would have to play 3 seamers in Mohammad Shami, Arshdeep Singh and Harshit Rana, you would have Harshit Rana who would be tested in the England ODIs, and that's one of the major reasons why he is playing. So with Arshdeep Kuldeep, there are no doubts about his place in the 11. He is one of your best pace bowlers in the white ball format, so he would definitely be a starter come the Bangladesh match on February 20th.
February 20th. So yes, see, Varun Chakravarthy, Ravindra Jadeja, Akshar Patel are your three spinners. You got Harshit Rana, Mohammad Shami and Hardik Pandya as your three pacers in that sense. So
Yeah.
no one is getting, I mean, the pacers, one of them might not get their full quota.
Yeah, let's just take a couple of comments before we wrap things up.
Yeah.
Daniel Matthew had an update on Rachin. Is Pakistan pitches safe? The ball bounced from. See,
No, it didn't.
Rachin is keeping fine. There's not much of a problem with it. But there's a final call that will be taken on his availability for the remaining tri-series matches very
But
soon.
again,
But he's keeping fine.
Daniel Matthew, the ball bounced from the field and no, totally wrong.
He lost it in the light, basically.
There is
Yes.
a criticism of the floodlight thing that is there. So that's why. Varun Chakravarthy had come in the CT squad and plays a Washington.
Arpit
Sundar.
Saxena, it is a possibility.
True, could happen.
Even I feel that.
Yeah.
Harshit Mohan, if Jaiswal is in the form of his life, cannot make it to the 11. I think Varun can also be left from the squad. Recent form doesn't make a player in the setup. See, Jaiswal's time will come in the ODI format, but currently India, I think it makes sense to have continuity in your 11. It makes sense to continue with Rohit Sharma, Gail, Kohli, Iyer. They've done well. There is no reason to leave them out.
Exactly. So let's not worry about that. See, it is only a question about the squad. Who comes into the squad until February 11th?
Yeah.
Because with Bumrah, we may get an update today, but it doesn't look good on his aspect. He may not be there for the Champions Trophy. Let's prepare ourselves for the fact that you will not see Jasprit Bumrah in the Champions Trophy.
Rahul Dravid has a comment.
Wow, Rahul Dravid. I mean, I hope he's recovered from that Indiranagar crash. I mean, no, not Indiranagar, Indian Express crash that's happened.
Two backup batters are too luxury for a small tournament like CT. I would prefer a pacer and Varun for Jaiswal and Sundar, more so considering NG crowd, around pacers.
That
Good
will
point.
happen. So, yeah, see, if Bumrah doesn't make it, Harshit Rana is there.
Yeah.
Shami, Arshdeep, Harshit Rana, that is your pace bowling lineup along with the Hardik Pandya.
True.
And you got, if you want spinners, take out a Sundar, get in Varun, Akshar, Kuldeep, and Jadeja.
Yeah.
So you got 4 pacers, 4 spinners. That is the way we are looking at it. In freaking awesome. In Cuttack, Rohit has scored 2 50s in 3 ODIs he played. Hope he'll come good. I thought they would rest Shami for a game and bring back Arshdeep. Most like Sundar player third. No, you cannot rest Shami because he's already had such a long layoff that you cannot rest him for any further games. He needs more games to come into rhythm. So that is primarily the reason you will not. Are there any warm-up games for Champions Trophy? That's what Ayush is saying. There is
I think
expected
India
to
is
be
probably going to play one game. Yeah.
one game, which is what we are
But
hearing.
but not. See, Australia going to play
2 ODIs versus Sri Lanka.
Sure, 2 ODIs versus Sri Lanka. Then obviously there's a tri-series
Is
that's
there
happening.
going to be time for a warm-up?
Most teams are not really playing any warm-up
Exactly,
games.
because see, when is the tri-series between Pakistan, New Zealand and South
14th.
Africa? 14th. And this series, I think Sri Lanka, Australia ends on the 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Or 13th.
They are playing 2 ODIs.
2 ODIs, 13th
Yeah,
and 15th.
15th, yeah.
So that is why I think it is not going to be. Pradeep Srivalsan saying, is this Rohit's last chance? No.
No, I think his last chance will be Champions Trophy.
And IPL afterwards. So let's see whether call will be taken. If India win the Champions Trophy, then all those questions are put to bed until 2027. That's not happening.
I think about it.
Yeah, Rahul, I'm saying 5 paces, including Hardik, were dropping a batter like Yashasvi. Maybe.
Okay.
Priyanshu saying, no, India is not playing warm. Looks tough. We don't have the official schedule as of it. Today, Priyanshu is again saying, no Archer, no Cars. I think it's the best chance for Rohit to get back in form. But see, India are anyway chasing.
He's struggling against almost all the pacers now.
Exactly.
Last comment, I think.
Yeah, I think this has all been taken.
Any update on
Tarun
Bumrah?
is saying,
I think we will have an update very soon. Maybe in the next 24 hours or so. India will have to make an announcement.
We'll have to make an announcement. Or maybe on 11th itself, we'll come to know then.
Yeah.
So that is the way. And I think that's about it. So yes, it's about to begin in Cuttack, the second
Final
ODI.
prediction?
England struggles against spin. They'll be again well short of their target. I think they may make 260. But I think India will chase it down.
Okay, this time I think once again go with another 300 plus go. I think England will finally get to 300. So maybe 310 for 6.
And India are chasing it down.
Let's see. We'll talk about that.
I think
in
it's about
mid-innings.
260 for me. And I agree with Sid sir. Akshar bowling has not been great in ODIs. His batting keeps him in the playing level. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why. It's only his batting. Otherwise, see, you're not expecting Akshar Patel to run through an opposition in white ball cricket. He's there primarily as a containing bowler.
True.
So that is why only for his batting skill and plus left-handed option, he was the guy who gave you that momentum in that June 29th ICC World T20 final.
Yeah.
So that's why Aksar is a key, but it's Varun Chakaravarthy versus Washington Sundar versus Kuldeep Yadav in that sense. So let's see how that pans out. Kuldeep should be back for the final ODI, and Varun, I think, could replace a Washington in the squad. That's about it. So join us for more videos on Sports Today. We'll be back with a lot more updates
And the mid-innings discussion too.
mid-innings discussion also. So
And there's going to be a full panel discussion when the match ends.
match ends. Hopefully, I think by about 9:30, if it goes the full distance, we should have it. So, yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, folks, from me and Sid Gulati, and also from Harshit, who's not here at this stage. It's bye-bye. See you, Nandri, and we'll be back for the mid innings. And subscribe to Sports Today.